We can walk it out, move.
Oh, that's interesting. Have a look at the shape of her mouth.
Sound check.
G'day, my name is Dr. Dan and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. We're doing it again. We're going to have a listen to Morissette today. This time she is singing Rise Up. It's one of the Wish Bus performances, and I've received a lot of requests that I do an analysis on this particular video. This is interesting. This is a do I call it a mixed bag? There are some really key things for us to learn as we go along here today. She is her usual stellar self, but well, let's dive in and I'll make my comments as we go along. You already know how much I love her. I think she's amazing. But let's dive in and have a listen to this particular performance.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we go work it out.
There may not be a harder vowel for most singers to sing. Ooh, it's a really hard vowel. I've made comment before about Morissette's ability to sing this vowel, and that might sound like a really odd thing to identify, but you know, when I'm working with singing students, which I do every day of my life, it's a really hard vowel to shape, to get that roundness. Ooh, to get it really round and full. This vowel, that's all. If you want to workshop the vowel of ooh, do this song because it repeats and repeats and repeats. We're going to hear her doing it every single time with real acumen.
But I see it in you, so we go work it out.
Wish
Mountain.
1075.
We can walk it out. Move mountains. I'll rise up, I could say, and I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
From the get-go, and this is where I'm going to make some interesting comments here because so many of you love Morissette. I love Morissette. You've seen enough reaction videos of me, you know, analysing Morissette's amazing voice to know that I do. In this performance, I kind of feel like she overuses certain effects, and aesthetically it works. It absolutely, aesthetically it sounds amazing. But when you can have too much of a good thing, not just aesthetically, but also from her vocal function point of view. I really kind of wonder whether we hear the voice just a little bit on the fatiguey side because of the amount of squeak and squeal that we get from her, which I think is amazing. I really do. But I've also made comment in previous videos that I love the fact that she's not overdoing it and overusing it. I wonder whether we're kind of dancing on the line with what is too much and what is just right as we go along in this particular piece.
And I'll rise up, I like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again, for you, for you, for you,
Oh.
for you.
That is so hard to do. She makes it sound so easy, but I'm telling you, you try it. To pitch it, to nail it, and to have the tone and the resonance to go with it, You might think to yourself, particularly if this is one of the first reaction videos of mine that you've ever watched, I'm getting a little bit carried away over something that's kind of non-consequential. No, it's hard. This is hard. And it's not hard because of how high it is, although the pitching of it puts it in a difficult area, but what we're not identifying is really, really high singing and really, really loud singing. No, it's the shape. It's the tonal shaping of this particular phrase on the oo that makes it so difficult.
The silence isn't quiet. It feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying. And I promise
see, what we don't typically hear in Morissette's voice is a breathy edge, where the core tone is in question. And in this performance, I'm given to wanting to be is concerned too strong a word, but it's so important for the singer's vocal health that what they're doing is not only efficient but sustainable. We all want Morissette to sing well into her latter years because it's such an amazing voice and she's such an amazing artist. And for her to do that, we need her to be really careful in the amount of use the voice has and the type of use the voice has. I'll take it back and just have a listen to that area.
This isn't quiet. It feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying. And I promise we'll take the world to its feet.
Back up to the fabulous shaking.
We can walk it out. Move.
Oh, that's interesting. Have a look at the shape of her mouth on that second oo. We'll have a listen to it again. We'll listen to the first one, the first phrase, and then have a listen to the second phrase where she shapes it almost out the side of her mouth. Watch the shape of her mouth and the shape of her lips. There's a slight change, a variation that she builds into the tone of the second phrase of ooze. And I quite like that. Normally, we're going for a symmetry of mouth shape, but she kind of moves it to the side just for a moment and gives us something ever so slightly different. So there's some symmetry there. Have a watch of the next one.
We can walk it out. Mountains. And I'll rise like the day, and I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you.
Out the side again. See what I mean? There's just a bit too much of that squeak, and I think it's costing her. I think it is actually costing her extra vocally to do that. The problem for us as performers is when an audience starts to become familiar with that sound and wants more of that sound, then the temptation is for the artist to give more of that sound. But if that sound is a high cost sound and that what she's doing with her voice there is a high cost choice, then it just fatigues the voice. And when the voice gets into a zone of, regular fatigue, then it's exposed to wear and tear. And when it's in that zone of wear and tear, then damage can ensue. I'm not suggesting her voice is damaged in this case. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm suggesting is we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful in what we as an audience require of our singers and our performers. And we've also got to be, as performers, be very careful what we give in to providing our audience with. Is it sustainable over the long haul? And perhaps in this particular instance, I think, again, we're kind of playing the line a little bit with that idea.
Need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. Oh. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we will rise.
Yeah, signature Morissette, right? That's great sound.
I'll rise like the day, I'll rise in spite of the end.
Oh, let's have a listen to the phrasing there. Yeah, she doesn't just sing through the phrase and give it sort of a really basic phrasing. She really makes choices and uses that to communicate the intent.
And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise
Yeah.
in spite of the ache. And I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Oh, I like that little growl. Right.
In spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I rise up, high like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache.
Yeah. Let's have a listen to that. You know, just putting that edge of growl on it at the top just gives it that lift because the voice is already on the edge. So just to put a little bit of a growl on there just intensifies it just that little bit more. And she's an expert at it. She really is.
1,000 times again. I rise up, high like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. And I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Oh, yeah. Back into the ooze.
For you.
Ooh, there's where we hear the voices under a bit of stress. Can you hear the intake of breath? Just there. That's the first time I've sort of caught that in my own listening. Have a listen to the way the voice doesn't quite get the right level of release because it's been under such a load. It doesn't quite get enough release, and we hear the intake of air and the vocal folds kind of grab at the intake of air. Have a listen.
And I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you. For you.
Yeah?
For you. For you.
Exclusive on Wish 107.5.
We will rise again and again and again.
Such a good sound. Such a good voice. But I think there's some lessons in there in that particular performance. You know, there are countless other Morissette performances where we don't hear that level of challenge in there for the voice. And so we're only commenting to this particular video in this particular moment on this particular performance, but it does give us a good opportunity to learn, you know, even the Morissettes. She's a human being with biological anatomy that she has to care for. She has to, you know, manage and monitor over time. And I hope that proves beneficial to you. You know I'm going to do more Morissette as we go along. So I hope you'll subscribe and continue to tune in. Let me know your thoughts, your comments in the comments section below. And remember where we're coming from in these analyses videos. This is not a channel where we just ooh and ah and, you know, everything's, you know, roses. No, we identify the areas that we can learn from. The good, the bad, the ugly. There was no ugly in that. But, you know, certainly we get to really learn from the best. And in my mind, Morissette, she's one of the best. And I hope you enjoyed today's vocal analysis video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.